Hello and welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Anxious, my new YouTube channel. I created this channel primarily to talk about my weight loss surgery that is coming up. I will be getting the vertical sleeve gastrectomy on January 16th, 2021 from Blossom Bariatrics in Las Vegas. So only a few short weeks away. In 2 weeks I start my pre-op diet, and I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. Just a little intro about me. My name is Rebecca. I'm 33 years old. I guess my stats are I'm about 5'6.5", 5'7". I thought I was 5'7", but the doctor just informed me I've shrunk to 5'6", so we're gonna split the difference and say I'm 5'6.5". I am currently hovering between 365 and 370. I've not lost any weight, even though I've been, cutting out tons of sugars and eating low carb and taking care of myself. But it really just depends on the day. As we hopefully all know, our bodies fluctuate, 5 to 10 pounds per day, depending on what's going on inside us. So yeah, my highest recorded weight was 380. So it's only been 10 pounds since my highest, but that was a year ago. That was my highest recorded. I actually lost 30 pounds. And then thanks to COVID and gyms closing, and then me just kind of, COVID and depression and all that good stuff, I gained back, I guess, 20 of it. Which, I mean, that's the story of my life, right? That's why I'm doing this video. That's why I'm getting the vertical sleeve, Other things about me, I'm wear about a 3X in shirts. I wear a size 26 in torrid pants. I've gained weight pretty evenly all over my body. And my goals for after surgery, I don't really have a specific goal weight as long as it's below 200 pounds. I really am more concerned about feeling comfortable, feeling happy, doing all of the things that I want to do, and that I'm healthy. I'm less concerned about a BMI because we all know the BMI scale is technically bullshit. And I'm less concerned about a number on a scale. I'm really just more concerned, like, is my blood pressure back to normal? Am I, having trouble with, insulin resistance and PCOS, or like, are those symptoms going away? Like, am I off my medication, etc., etc. Those are my goals. I don't really have major expectations for my body anymore because my body really hasn't done anything that I've expected of it for 2 decades almost now. And so I just am really just aiming for healthy right now. And just trying to listen to my body and do what it needs and not have expectations for it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So why do I have this YouTube channel, or why am I doing this? Why am I filming myself? Why do I think my story is unique and different compared to all of the other people on YouTube who talk about their bariatric surgery? I think one thing that makes me unique and different is that I haven't always been fat. I may somewhere, in this video, post a couple photos if I decide I feel like editing it. Or you can always check out my Instagram, which I will post a link below for all of my, well, I don't really only have Instagram right now, but I might do other stuff at some point. But you can check out there, and I have photos of before from when I was normal sized. So I think that's a little bit different. I've not been big my whole life. I've felt that I was big my whole life. I felt that I was fat, but until I was 18 years old, I was a normal size. I was an athlete. I maybe thought that I was a little bit bigger than my peers just because I put on muscle really easily. And like I would wear a size 9, whereas my friends were wearing a size 7. So like I would just be a little bit bigger than my friends. But I can tell you that I felt fat. I felt fat my whole life. The difference is that I wasn't actually fat, which is frankly sad, looking back. Yeah, so I think that that makes me a little bit different. I want this channel also to be a little bit different than some of the other YouTubers that I've watched, because I would like to focus primarily on the mental health side of things. I have a degree in psychology and a degree in sociology. I've been a social worker before. I've been a drug and alcohol counselor. I just feel like we talk a lot about head hunger, but do we talk about where that comes from? We talk a lot about, you know, bad relationships with food, but do we talk about how did you get there? And what did you do to overcome those things? You know, I want it to be, you know, just more what led me to be here, because I think that that's interesting personally. Not about myself, but about other people. I think that's interesting. I always want to hear their backstories. But I think what led me to be here, what led me to do this, because surgery is not the easy way out. Surgery is probably the most difficult thing I've ever done. And I haven't even had it yet. I'm still in the pre-op stage. And I would say it's the most difficult thing I've ever done. So yeah, I just want to focus on that. Also, because I'm getting my surgery at Blossom Bariatrics, it is an outpatient surgery. And a lot of the vlogs that I've seen document inpatient in a hospital, that tell you what to expect. And frankly, I feel like I'm going into surgery at Blossom a little bit blind. I have talked to quite a few people who've been sleeved there. All I hear is rave reviews, which is amazing. However, it also, it still means that I don't really know what to expect. I've never had major surgery. So that's another aspect I'd like to focus on, is people who might be just as terrified as me, who've never had it, and are looking down the barrel of something that's utterly terrifying. So yeah, I think I want to document, you know, what it's like at Blossom. So hopefully people getting surgery there have a little bit better idea about what to expect. So yeah, I want to document the whole thing. I am going to be doing the surgery with my mother as my companion, and I'm not so sure that she's going to be keen on filming me, but I think I can convince her to take a lot of photographs so I can, you know, kind of do like a photo montage for you guys and talk about how it went and what happened. So now, this video is my first video. This is an intro. I also want to let you guys know that I've literally never videotaped myself. Like, I think the last time that I videotaped myself was in high school, like 17 years ago. So this is like my first time being on video, so I apologize if it sucks. But yeah, a little bit of an intro about what got me here. What got me to being almost 400 pounds. I think it's a combination of things, and I think it's genetics, PCOS, and then a poor relationship with food. Two of those things, though, I don't have any control over. I want to make something clear. Most people aren't fat by choice. It's not like we sit here and shove food in our face and are excited to be overweight. We don't get this way just by overeating either. I mean, have you seen someone who's a normal size, who has really fast metabolism? Have you seen them eat? They can out-eat most people. And especially they can out-eat fat people. And yeah, it's not just about that. Genetics and metabolism can have anywhere from a 25% to an 80% influence on our weight, according to a Harvard study. So it's not something that I have any control over. If my family's fat and my parents were fat, my grandparents were fat, my great-grandparents were fat, there's nothing that I can do. I'm going to be fat. Like, literally, I could have the best relationship with food. I could eat perfectly healthy, and you could still end up overweight. I'm not saying it happens every time. I'm just saying, like, that's what we're fighting against. We're not just fighting against a poor relationship with food. You're fighting against your own body. You're fighting against genetics. PCOS is something also I have very little control over. I began developing symptoms when I was 18, which is why I said I was normal sized until I was about 18. And then my weight began climbing and it just didn't stop. Now, if you don't know what PCOS is, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome. It comes with numerous symptoms, and I won't be able to list all of them, but primary of which would be like cysts on our ovaries. We have irregular periods, weight gain as a result of insulin resistance, but not everybody has that. There's acne, there's facial hair growth. We always have wacky hormones. In particular, we often have higher testosterone, and infertility. I could go on. Like, there's so many other symptoms that go along with PCOS. If you're interested in what it is, I can probably post a link below to some more information about PCOS. And just want you to know, I keep looking over here because I kept notes for myself, because otherwise I will go off the rails and talk for 20, 30, 40 minutes about this. Anyway, so PCOS, I don't really have a whole lot of control over. The problem is with PCOS is that the higher your weight gets, the worse your symptoms get, and then they just kind of compound each other. So the heavier I got, the worse my insulin resistance got, which meant the heavier I got, didn't really matter. Also, people with PCOS, just kind of have a harder time losing weight than anybody else, and I might go into a little bit more in depth about that. But the third part of why I think I'm fat is my relationship with food, which of course is something I can control to a point. Like, I can control it now, if that makes sense. Like, what gave me the poor relationship with food was something that I didn't have control over. I can only control it once I admit I have a problem and I recognize I have a problem. And then I can start to learn to understand the things that led to that problem. And that's when you start to gain control. But the things that caused the poor relationship with food were completely out of my control. By now, some of you might be wondering, why are you sitting here listening to a fat person tell you all the reasons why them being fat is not their fault? Sorry. I'm gonna miss this, like hardcore gonna miss this, but I am gonna give it up. So most fat people, when we hit the point of where we need surgery or we want surgery and we're going down this path, we are usually sitting here admitting all the ways in which we failed. We admit to eating like crap. We admit to not exercising, not taking care of ourselves. We feel intense shame and guilt for letting ourselves get to this point. We blame ourselves. I can't tell you how many other vlogs and also how many Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and everything that I've seen where people will say things like, I can't believe I let myself get this fat. I let myself go. I'm so ashamed. And the truth is that, a certain percentage of our journey is out of our control. And yet we carry the shame of that, even though we had no control over it. So I'm here to tell you right now, if you are starting this journey, like, set down that shame. That's not yours. You don't need to carry that. Okay? Okay. I've said that. That's all I need to say. So as I've said before, I was a normal sized kid. The thing is that early childhood trauma, repeated early childhood trauma, neglect, parental influences, the media, fuck the media, man, fuck the media, mental illnesses, puberty, sexual assault, all of those things led to a poor relationship with food. They taught me to hate my body. They taught me that my worth was determined by my size and the physical space that I took up. They taught me that if I wasn't losing weight, then like I was a piece of shit. And just so we know, I will curse on this channel. I don't sugarcoat it. If you're under 18 and watching this, I mean, it's weird because hopefully you wait till you're 18 to get the surgery, but you know, that's neither here nor there, and that's not anybody's opinion. That's your own. Basically, I was told that if I wasn't thin, you know, then I must be a lazy piece of shit. And the problem is that that is a message that was fed to me over and over and over and over until I hated myself. I hated my body. It destroyed my relationship with my body. It destroyed my relationship with food. I began to eat to punish myself. So I would binge eat to punish myself. And then I would begin to not eat to punish myself. I began restricting. And then I would exercise. I would exercise to excess. I would exercise without eating. I would exercise in excess, not eat, and then a few days later, binge. Like, basically, I learned how to use food as a way to punish myself and punish my body for not doing what I thought it was supposed to do. And I spent most of my childhood, like I said, normal size, but maybe like 5 to 10 pounds overweight. But because I got this constant message of, because you're 5 to 10 pounds overweight, because you wear a size bigger than your friends, because you carry a little bit more weight in your hips and you're made of muscle, then you're a piece of shit. And you don't deserve to suck air, and you don't deserve to live. And I learned to use food as self-harm. Okay? So that was my childhood. That was my teenage years. That's what I did, was just eat to treat myself like crap. So I went into my college years with this terrible, terrible relationship with food. And that is when my PCOS symptoms started. And then you compound that with, you know, just years abusing my body, increasing weight. There was some more trauma. There was some PTSD. There was severe depression, anxiety, abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, toxic relationships. And you add another 10 years and here I am, almost 400 pounds. So I'm more than happy to go into more detail of my trauma if people in my past, you know, if people really want. Obviously, I want to talk about my past. I want to talk about certain things, but whatever I talk about, I'm going to have to put like a trigger warning because I don't want anybody to be, you know, I don't want this to cause more pain than it should. But if you want to know more, just go ahead and let me know in the comments. And I'm more than happy to do more videos on that kind of stuff. But the point is that you add up all those things over the course of 33 years and you end up with this. Yeah, so here we are. Fad diets. after fad diet is basically what I did. I was in Weight Watchers at 14 years old. I, you know, then I did Atkins in high school. You know, gluten-free, paleo, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers. I think I did Weight Watchers. I think I've done it a total of like 7 times. Low carb, gluten-free, paleo. I did that one. Whole30, keto, like you name it, I've done it basically. And we all know that fad diets don't work. And also I grew up in the 90s, and growing up in the 90s meant low fat diet. Like that is what we did, was low fat diet. And we all know that low fat diet is also not good. And if you don't know that, there's a lot of evidence out there, so go research it. Plus PCOS, and like I said before, PCOS, they've proven this, and you can talk to an endocrinologist about this if you are confused, but PCOS, women with PCOS have 2 times harder time losing weight than a woman who's overweight that doesn't have PCOS. Our body literally just hangs on to it. Our body does not want to lose weight. I can't tell you how many times I have done everything that I'm supposed to do. I've tracked my food, I exercise, I eat in a caloric deficit, I do all the things, I do everything that my friend does, and my friend will lose 30-40 pounds, and I'll lose like maybe 5, and then I might regain it without changing anything. So our bodies don't want to lose weight. We have to work twice as hard, which is extremely defeating. It's exhausting. So yeah. Long story short, about 1.5 years ago now, I guess, I hit my rock bottom, and decided that after one last chance to lose weight, in which case I lost the 30 pounds and then regained 20 of it, I decided to pursue surgery. So here we are. So that's all I'm going to talk about today for this first video. 20 minutes is friggin' long enough. My next video, I will probably do a video about my rock bottom, and kind of what got me to the decision of doing surgery. And then I'll probably talk about my feelings regarding surgery, because they are numerous. For now, I'll sign off, and thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe if you're interested. Obviously, I'm really not here for followers. I mean, unless you're interested in this process, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to hopefully educate a little bit, and I'm here to share my story for those who need it. So yeah, I'll see you next time, and thank you so much for watching.